Oh, hi, it's Kathy, and I want to address in this video a big question that we get or a big concern that we get about enrolling in our Navigate program. And that concern is around fear, a fear of committing to the payment plan of a year-long program and committing to the energy and, ability to show up that is required of a year-long program. So I want to address both of those things. And I want to say, like, gosh, if the last 2, 3 years has taught us anything, it's taught us that things aren't going to go as predicted. And so it is absolutely understandable that you might have some fear around or hesitation around the commitment of joining Navigate, both in terms of committing to a year-long payment plan where there's it costs $297 a month for 12 months, or even if you full pay, committing to showing up and getting the most out of the program. So I just want to address those concerns for you right now. So first of all, I want to say, like, you can do this. Like, you absolutely can. I know a year sounds like a long time, but one of the things that I talk about all the time inside of Navigate and in all our programs is that the year ebbs and flows. So you might start Navigate, especially if you join now in May, you might start like, yes, I'm going, like, it's going to be awesome. And for the first few weeks, you're doing all the modules and you're showing up to co-writing times and you're coming to Momentum Mindset on Mondays and everything is like chucking along. And then something happens, right? Like, I don't know, the start of the semester, or you go on a vacation and then coming back from vacation, you don't really want to, get back to work until the semester starts. Like, I totally understand grading periods. If we're in humanities and we get a big stack of papers, grant deadlines, there are so many things that make the academic year ebb and flow. And that means that our ability to show up for the Navigate program might ebb and flow. And one of the things that you're going to learn, and I really hope that you join and can really learn this deeply, is that that's okay. Like, we actually want to ride ebbs and flows rather than try to power through and try to be the same all the time. So one of the reasons that Navigate is a year-long program is that we are showing you what deep levels of support look like over an entire year. And so, like, we know that if we did a program that was like a boot camp, like, yeah, like we could, for 12 weeks, we could like be there making you, boot camping your way to committing and showing up and writing every day and all of those things. Like, it's easy to do that. I mean, it's difficult, but it's, it's easy to do that for 12 weeks. What happens when 12 weeks is over, right? How do those practices get sustained in your career? And that's what we're really looking for. That's why Navigate is a year-long program. We're looking for sustained practices. And sustained practices have to adapt and adopt to ebbs and flows. So that's why we have a weekly group coaching call on Mondays, because there's 52 weeks in your program and maybe you won't be able to come to every single one, right? There might be whole months where you're like, I can't make it, but we're there for you when you come back. Okay. Or we're there for you if that's the only half hour you spend on your writing in a week is coming to our writing mindset call. Fabulous. Like, yes, that's great. It's a touch point for you. And also we have daily co-writing sessions, and co-writing sessions are just, you get on the Zoom and you write together with other people. And muted, it's just a way to like get something on your calendar so that you show up. We have 6 of those every single day. And the ability for you to just join that link with whatever friends you make in our community whenever you want. So the point of this is not that you show up for co-writing every day. I actually don't teach a write every day method inside of Navigate. Instead, what I teach is trying to honor dates with writing and trying to establish consistency. So what that looks like is that those co-writing sessions are there for you. So even some people take their grading and bring their grading to co-writing sessions. So I know that you might feel like, oh, I'm going to spend all this money, or maybe there'll be a month that I spend my 297, but that I don't really, show up for all the things I want to show up for. It's okay. Like, that's why this is a year-long program with many touch points through the year. Some other ways that we provide you with touch points are through our writing sprints and our planning calls, which each happen 3 times a year. And then really key is our milestone moments throughout the year. And again, the reason that we design the program this way is so that you keep touching back, because what we're looking for is for you to sustain writing and publishing, not just be able to do, changes to your, productivity for a 12 weeks, right? We want you to do it for 12 months. We want you to permanently change the way you set boundaries, the way you plan projects, the way you manage your pipeline. So that is something that happens in a sustained way. It doesn't happen in a burst. It happens little by little by just consistently putting one foot in front of the other and continuing to show up when you can and understand and ride those ebbs and flows of a year. So we have put a lot of thought into creating a year-long syllabus and a year-long curriculum for you inside of Navigate. So if you're hesitant to commit and you're like, oh, but what if I get overwhelmed? Usually what I say is that if you are like thinking, oh, I'm too overwhelmed to be in this program, then what you actually have to do is join the program. Like when people get to a point in the program where they're like, oh, I'm too overwhelmed to show up, is exactly when you need to do the thing and show up. Because that's how you actually change. Because what you're doing now, probably, right, is when things get rough, like you have grading to do or a deadline coming up, like all these things get pushed out and you bust your butt to get to the deadline and then crash. So what we're trying to do inside of Navigate is help to eliminate those crash and burn times. So ebbs and flows is different from crash and burn, right? Like ebbs and flows, picture a boat going up and down, like it is managed. It is lilting. It is controlled. It's not like frenzied crash, right? So if you're in that frenzy, you might be like, oh, I shouldn't come to the program stuff. Like I should drop out of this program or whatever. Actually, that's when you come to Momentum Mindset. That's when you come to co-writing calls. That's when you open up Teachable and do a module, because that is what's going to change your behavior. And it's going to change the way that you approach your career. So I hope that this video has helped you understand and think about that fear that you might have about committing to a year-long program. We are here for you. We designed it on purpose because we want you to change the way you approach your writing and publishing. And we know that Navigate can help you do that. Thanks. Bye.